So, Christie sides. I've had no hope for Christie sides all year. And I gotta give credit where credit's due. It seems she's trying. Look, Christie sides could change her mind tomorrow and tell Caitlin Clark to go stand in that corner again. But it is very clear. Well, it's from not very clear. It isn't unbelievably clear. But from what it seems like, she's actually going to Caitlin Clark looking to see what way the team should play, how the team should run, because that's what a good coach should do, especially when you have a floor general like a Caitlin Clark. Make sure everyone's on the same page, because if you are on a different page to your all-world floor general, things aren't going to work out. Even if Caitlin Clark is the best floor general in the world, if what she thinks is right is the opposite of what you think is right and everyone's doing different things, she's going to look terrible, the team's going to look terrible. But there needs to be, it's very clear, obviously, that if you are someone that's coached a player that more than likely has higher IQ than you, and look, everyone who's coached basketball for people over the age of 16 has probably coached someone who's smarter at the sport than they are. Like, it happens. So, it's good to see her actually trying to talk it out with Caitlin Clark and seeing what's happening. So, this is what Christie Side said in her preseason. I don't know what to call this, like during their practice interview.
You can keep getting better with that chemistry, and I actually just sat and talked with her and just got her thoughts on what some of that is like, what we need to do, what she thinks these next couple weeks, and that's just what we keep talking about. The more they play together, the more that chemistry just builds.
So she said there that she actually sat with Caitlin Clark to talk with her through what the team needs to work on, and that is huge. And we got to give Christie Side some props for that, because I think that saying that Christie Sides isn't like at the level needed to coach a team as good as this is the truth. I think that is the absolute truth. When we're talking about Christie Sides, like, she's never been a head coach before, and she's head coaching in the WNBA. Like, I'm trying to think what leagues would be harder to coach in than a WNBA. Like, obviously, look, if a WNBA team played an Irish Superleague team, the Irish Superleague team wins. But that doesn't mean that, like, the players aren't better. It's just an athleticism thing. I would say it's probably maybe, other than some teams in college, NBA, any of the EuroLeague, Euro Cup, like top teams in Europe, other than those, the WNBA would be the next biggest job. So it is, it's big. Like, it probably is a step too high, but it's really good for her that, like, she's doing that. And Caitlin Clark's not going to be shy. She's not going to be shy and trying to not say anything and be like, no, Christie, you've done a good job. No, if this is Caitlin, she's probably saying, no, this is what we need to do. We need to do this. I need to go here so I can get my shots. I need to go here so I can free up my teammates. Because that's the one thing, is I think people around the league that not named Cheryl Swoops, I think the biggest reason why Caitlin Clark has garnered so much respect is that I think people thought that she was going to come in as a me, I'm looking to score. I played in Iowa. This is a one-man show. Whereas, realistically, it was the play style, and she was just needed for the play style. She did take a lot of shots. She also passed a lot. So I think people thought she was going to come in like that. And I think there is now a respect there from vets in that she's just really... It's just hard to knock someone that's as willing a passer as Caitlin Clark. It's incredibly difficult to not like that. So, and I think Christie Side surely is the same. Like, if she wants to win, I think she wants to keep her job at the end of the day. I think she wants to keep her job. Like, this team is now 8th into the Olympic break. She could no longer coast. Like, if they go, I think 14 games to go. I think they're going to win somewhere between 6 and 9. If they go 9-5, unbelievable. If they go 6-8, they still make the playoffs. But, like, if they go, let's just say they go 5-9, they scrape into the playoffs because the other teams behind them are worse, and they go and get swept badly by the Liberty, she's probably gone. So she's thinking like that she has to. She has to go and win some games. She has to at least be competitive in the playoffs. And I think she probably knows that the way we do that is through number 22. Like 22 is the best player on this team. 20, or even if you want to argue she's not the best player, trying to argue that the team doesn't run through 22 is nonsense. So we run through 22. Aaliyah's getting easier shots. Kelsey's getting easier shots. And we're starting to play better. The dog that we thought we had in Christie Wallace, no. Just no. And they might be on track. And if you guys agree with this, subscribe. We're 35 subscribers away from 25.5k. We're trying to hit that by the end of the day. But it is interesting. It's interesting to see with Christie's side. You can see the whole Fever team just seems to be more relaxed. I think those first 11 games were rough. And I think they were rough for everybody involved in the situation, because I think Christie Sides was out of her depth to deal. I think she was just not equipped to deal with the situation. She was out of her depth coaching wise. I think she was out of her depth in just even the players that were there. The situation, she wasn't ready to coach a team that had lost for 10 years and were expected to win. Didn't know how to coach Caitlin. Didn't help that Leah Boston showed up out of shape. Didn't help that they were getting full fan crowds at games where they had none before. She was making horrible coaching decisions, and I still think she's a bad coach. I still think the first thing you should do, I think she should have been fired at the Olympic break. But no matter what happens, the first thing the team should do is fire her at the end of the season. Like, I still think she's not good enough. But at least you can see she's trying to win these games. It looked at one stage like she was one of those, this is my way, and if you don't play my way, you're gone type coaches. Which is the worst type of coach you have. Like, you have to adapt your coaching style when you have a generational player. You have to adapt it. And if you don't adapt your coaching style when you have a generational player and try to make a generational player fit, you're going to be... you're going to struggle. You're going to really struggle as a coach, because especially when you're playing at high-level sports where you can, whether it be NBA, WNBA, where you can look into getting the best player in the world, you build around them. Like in the NBA, if you are San Antonio and you looked into Wembanyama, if you try to make Wembanyama fit into a box instead of building a team around him when he could be the greatest ever, that's on you as a coach. That's poor coaching. And that's the same thing as we saw Christie Sides do at the start. But at least it is good, because it seems like she is trying to change. But anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.